Skies. Go to Southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And by Honda. Look for money-saving leases and low financing at your Honda dealer. 73 degrees under overcast skies with a light drizzle that's been on and off for the last couple of hours here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the ball game tonight. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines for Seattle. It'll be Ichiro, Figgins and Branyan, Lopez, Gutierrez, Kochman, Moore, Tuiasosopo, and Wilson. Lopez, a 9-game streak, 263 with a couple of RBIs during it.
The PNC scouting report on Jeremy Guthrie and what he needs to do to achieve success tonight would be to keep dealing. He has won 3 in a row, 4 of 5, and 6 straight quality starts. And to pass Albers, he and Matt Albers are tied for home wins. Albers 5-1, Jeremy 5-5, so we'd like to take the lead in that category. And leader of the pack, leads all of Major League Baseball on a 1.51 ERA since the All-Star break.
Very impressive numbers for Jeremy Guthrie. He's got that hit count down below innings pitched, keeping the walks down, letting the defense do the work behind him. And we are ready to go. So Ichiro will be leading it off as the Mariners come in, looking to win a series under their interim coach, Darren Brown, for the 3rd time in a row if they could get it. Well, the Orioles will look to get this final game against the Mariners for this season in the W column. Mariners lead in the season series 5-3. Ichiro to second base. Brian Roberts has it. Ichiro's retired. We talked about the defense being behind Guthrie. Well, last night PA started in the first inning off Ichiro. Jones off Ichiro in the 3rd. Markakis with a runner at second, a great catch, and Asturias a magnificent play at short on a ball that looked like a base hit.
We'll feature that defense again tonight. PA will be in left, Adam Jones in center. Markakis will man right field. Bell, Asturias, Roberts, Wigington, and Wieters round out the infield.
And here is Sean Figgins. Figgins has a 2 for 10 in this series so far, and Guthrie will get the strike into him. 249 average. Reached the 30 stolen base mark during this series. And Figgins not even close to that one, 0-2.
And that's been a difference in Guthrie right there this year compared to last year. That sinker is down. It's 94, 95 miles an hour, and he's throwing it in good spots, down in the zone, outer inner parts of the plate.
And 0-2 count in a hurry on Figgins. And will miss a little bit outside. And Jeremy Guthrie has put on a show here since the All-Star break. 6 consecutive quality starts. Go along with that, the 4th lowest run support in the American League. And again, just misses outside with it, 2-2.
But you can see he definitely has a plan, trying to nail down that outside corner, just using his fastball. A while there when he was struggling, was really throwing too many pitches of different varieties, and more fastballs, curveballs, sliders.
Got him.
There's that good changeup that we mentioned earlier. You know, lots of fastballs away, and that's the difference. That's how you pitch. I mean, fastball away, and all of a sudden he throws a changeup in the exact same spot, but instead of it being 95, it's 85, 10 miles an hour difference in that, and Figgins no chance of hitting it.
Yeah, by throwing multiple fastballs, so that changeup really has an effect. You know, if you're going to see one every other pitch, you're going to adjust to it.
So he gets the first 2 outs. Russell Branyan, the DH, with a 1 for 8. 16 homers, 38 RBIs. Continues with 50% of his hits against the Orioles being home runs with a cut like that. The other problem Guthrie has to really settle down in these first innings. He, like so many of the Orioles starters, has struggled. He's given up 16 first-inning runs in 24 starts. 31 hits in the first innings of this season, but of late, that has not been the case. He's been able to get them out. And you can see the pace, like the other Orioles starters. He's picked that up from the start of the year. Branyan to right, and will there be room? And up, and Markakis makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Jeremy Guthrie, and Markakis had that one lined up right from the get-go. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Orioles will have Roberts, Markakis, and Wigginton, Scott, Jones, and PA. Wieters is Turris and Bell. Josh Bell, the night last night, 2 of the Orioles' 3 hits.
PNC scouting report on David Pauly and what he needs to do to achieve success tonight. He's Millwood's idol. Of course, Kevin seems to be the master of low run support, but Pauly's been of the same ilk. 7 runs in his 6 starts. And low ball, that would mean 4 of his 6 starts are 2 runs or less. Pretty good number. And Farmer, he was a member of the Orioles farm system back in 08, went 9-12 in Norfolk, sort of a journeyman right-hander.
So a lot of the Orioles know of David Pauly as a teammate. Brian Roberts, and that will be taken down low. Pauly, the former Oriole, who's got his first major league win under his belt. Roberts a 2 for 9 in this series. And that will miss, and he falls behind 2-0. Ryan's numbers since coming off the DL, a couple of home runs, 6 RBIs. Roberts, Markakis, and Wigginton here in the first inning. And Pauly will miss, and the first 3 are not in the zone.
Well, one thing he does, he has a good sinker. He hasn't allowed a home run in any of his last 3 starts.
3-0 pitch is taken and walked him on 4 straight. The Orioles will take that. Ryan Roberts gets the leadoff walk.
Let's take a look at the Mariner defense. Tuiasa Sopo will play left field. They'll be a hero driving in all the runs last night for the Mariners. Gutierrez and Ichiro in the outfield. Lopez, Josh Wilson, Figgins, Kochman, and Adam Moore's had a pretty good series.
And there is Darren Brown, the interim manager, whose ball club has gone 5-3 since he's taken over and had a good ball game last night. Well pitched. Right now, Pauly can't find the strike zone. That's the first 5 pitches missing as he falls behind.
Yeah, speaking of last night, Luke French, left-handed pitcher for the Mariners, had a wonderful game last night against the Orioles. Good changeup, spotted his fastball, got ahead, and really just held the Orioles down.
Pauly's delivery, and Markakis will take it, and there's a strike. Pauly, conventional as far as the numbers go, getting ahead. If he goes 1-0, hitters are 295 off him. If he gets the first strike, hitters are 194. So the normal difference of 75 to 100 point batting average differential is what most pitchers deal with. Down the line and curving, and that will be a foul ball right in the corner at about 330 feet away.
Well, you see why Pauly's kept the ball in the ballpark for the most part this year. Pitches with that 2-seam fastball, as Mike mentioned, keeps it down in the zone. It's a lot of ground balls. It's a breaking ball he mixes in there. See the difference right there. Opponent's average this season, runners on first base, 435. But when they've gotten in scoring position, he has really buckled down. Only 188 opponent's batting average with runners in scoring position.
Pauly's got a runner on at first base here, and Brian Roberts, who has not had a chance to do a lot of running this season in light of the time on the DL and doesn't want to take chances of re-aggravating that back here in the latter part of the year. So not to expect Brian to do a whole lot of running here in the conclusion of this 2010 season.
You can see the big smile on his face. He was trying to get one of those Robbie Alomar jumps.
Yeah, he almost did. It looked like he had it, too.
2-2 delivery. Markakis straight back.
And sometimes you just don't have the heart to keep going. You have such a jump.
It's almost like too good to be true.
Well, Brian's that kind of a base stealer. He's not one that gets a huge lead and sort of dares you to throw over. He likes to get that short lead, comfortable lead. Looks like he's very relaxed. And he'll just go early from that very relaxed position.
5 out of 7 in stolen bases on the year. 2-2 count. Very short lead over there.
And when you get to the big leagues, that's the first thing that jumps out at you. The real fast runner, when he's not getting a big lead, will make you very nervous.
That's right.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Markakis 3 for 8 in the series so far. Nick drills that one, curving, foul.
Got a shot at both poles in this at bat.
Well, put one to center, 420, and you got one.
That one would have to be off the flagpole.
That's what makes Markakis so good, though. I mean, he hits the ball where it's pitched a lot. You know, he's just missed the homer, like you said, down the left field line, and just missed it down the right field. But he sprays it everywhere.
Yeah, the ultimate compliment to a hitter is that he can hit any pitch, and that's what it makes. You really enter that sort of star category. You just can't throw him changeups and get him out. You just can't throw him fastballs and get him out.
Runner goes. The throw is high, and Roberts gets a stolen base. Well, Bryan did decide to run, even with that hand taped up, but we think he injured on a slide like this into second base.
Well, you saw the jump he got right there. I mean, he almost had 3 or 4 full steps off of Paulie as he took off. And even as good as an arm as Moore has back there, we saw him throw out a couple of guys in this series. No chance of getting him right there.
So Bryan gets into scoring position, and Nick Markakis has a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Paulie's delivery right through the middle. Roberts will turn. Gutierrez will get it in and hold the runner. Paulie looked down as though that ball may actually have touched his glove or his hand on the way up the middle.
Yeah, I thought he may have deflected it enough to slow it down. Up and out over the plate. I'm not sure he got a glove on it, but right to the glove side.
So the Orioles are going to get the first chance.
That ball just under his glove right there. 3-2 fastball. Markakis knew it was coming after the leadoff walk to Roberts, and he blistered it right up the middle.
And Ty Wigginton with runners at first and third and nobody out. And the Orioles get a chance here in the first inning to get on the board. 61 RBIs for Wigginton on the year. And down to third, runner coming. Going to go to the plate. Moore will chase Roberts back, and you got to put a tag on him. Runners are going to get to move up. Ball is dropped, and now the tag will be put on, but Roberts kept that going long enough that both runners are able to move to second and third.
That's a real nice job by Roberts right there. That was his goal from the beginning. Once he got hung up, you see hard shot. Now Lopez, he throws it home, and the rundown's on, but you'll see Roberts here in a minute. He'll motion over to Markakis. There he is. Hey, get over to third base. Get there if you can.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it a textbook rundown.
No. It wasn't executed by Seattle. You hope, if you do it right, it takes one throw a lot of times, and you get them.
It was a 5-2, 5-1 putout.
But if it's more than 3 numbers, it was a Boston rundown.
Yeah.
Now there are 2 in scoring position with 1 away. Fielder's choice for Wigginton at second. Markakis goes to third, and here's Luke Scott. And the Orioles DH will take that one away. Scott has a 2 for 8 in the series. He had his 17-game hit streak here at home ended in the 0-for that he picked up in the ball game last night when he went 0 for 3. 1-0 delivery to him. Swung on and missed. Pulled back on that one. Orioles have seen a ton of changeups here in this series.
And they've seen some good ones.
Yeah, I mean, Doug Fister the first night had a pretty good changeup. Of course, Luke French last night was unbelievable with that changeup. Like you said, most guys throw 10 miles an hour difference, 7, 8 on their changeup, but French last night as much as 10, 15 miles an hour difference fastball to changeup last night.
A 2-ball, 1 strikeout. Base hit here could get a couple of runs in. And Luke Scott, this is an area where he has struggled on the season with a 181 batting average with runners in scoring position. 2-ball, 1 strikeout. And again, floats one in that's going to miss. Outside, maybe a little high as well, and it'll go to 3-1 on Scott.
Yeah, I think part of that reason is that with runners in scoring position, they pitch Luke Scott a little differently. It's more off speed and breaking balls. They don't give in to him with nobody on. It's a tendency to fall behind. Maybe you'll take a chance with a fastball. They don't usually do that with men on.
Luke hitting .350 this month, and he's going to add to it with a base hit into left center field. Wigginton will be waved home. Gutierrez will get it into second, and Luke Scott comes through with a 2 RBI single. 2-0 O's.
And that right there to me, when I saw Luke Scott back in May, he was pulling off the ball away. You see this ball's away. It's up, but it's still on the outside part of the play. But he's doing a much better job as of late. Why the average is so high and the homers are there and the RBIs is that he's staying on the ball a lot better and driving the ball where it's pitched. He's hitting it where it's pitched instead of trying to pull everything.
So the Orioles get on the board. RBIs 54 and 55 for Luke Scott. And with 1 down, he's on at first base. The Orioles now have a couple of hits in the inning along with a walk against David Paulie. And here's Adam Jones. And Adam's going to be on. Jones is hit by a pitch, the second hit batter this year by Pauly. First and second, one away, and a tough start for the right-hander.
Yeah, coming off his first major league win, he tried to pitch Adam Jones in. The ball just sails, catches him on the tip of the elbow, and picks off Adam Moore at the same time.
Well, that will bring a visit to the mound here by Carl Willis, the pitching coach. Pauly came up from Tacoma at the end of June. He was 1-6 at AAA. Last major league start prior to his last outing was with the Red Sox back in 2008. Last year he spent the whole season with the Orioles AAA organization. Norfolk, he went 9-12 with a 4.37 ERA. He was signed as a free agent by Seattle. He has only one major league win, 7 losses in his major league career, and he has been a veteran of the minors, 10+ years at the minor league level. Orioles have 2 on, still only 1 away, and PA will stand in. Felix has gone 1 for 7 against Seattle in the series. Infield double play depth. PA will take it inside for a ball, and Pauly just can't find the strike zone.
No, he's struggling, trying to get a breaking ball going. Even his two-seamer, his sinker, the one he keeps down so often, is up in the strike zone as it was to Luke Scott right there. But more importantly, he's behind almost every batter. You see him 1-0 again, and it's tough to pitch at any level when you're constantly behind in the strike zone.
Felix PA, the 1-0 delivery to him, and the big cut, 1-1.
It's funny how little things you go back to the leadoff walk to Roberts really set the tone. Then Roberts is over dancing around first base. You never get your feet on the ground.
Ryan got caught in the rundown, but his ability to allow the runners to move up with the extended rundown paid off for Luke Scott, who was able to get the single. Scott at second, Jones at first. The 1-1 off speed breaking ball will miss, and it's 2-1.
Still working on that breaking ball, trying to get it going. Threw a changeup last time, so he's got all 3 pitches, trying to throw them, trying to find out what's going to work. First inning always the toughest for a starting pitcher, because the truth is you really just don't know what's going to be working when you get out there the first inning. You really don't know.
Only his 12th major league start. 2 ball, 1 strike delivery. And that's a chopper to second base. Figgins will go to the bag, 1 jump throw, and he'll get the double play. But the Orioles will pick up a couple of runs. Scott had the 2 RBI base hit, and the O's jump out on top. There's Luke, 2-0 O's.
And Adam Jones reiterated that, saying, we have a lot of confidence now as a group. He said, I don't think there is an outfield in the American League that can rival us as far as arm strength and throwing out runners is concerned. He said maybe the Rangers are second in the league, but he said right now I just like to see balls hit to the gap, even if I can't get to them. Nick and Felix, I enjoy watching them run them down because I know they'll get there, Gary.
And we enjoy, and I think the fans do too, watching the defensive play that we have seen, Amber, especially lately. I mean, for one thing, PA's learned how to play left field all of a sudden, which hadn't happened before.
Yeah, much better jumps, much better reads.
That ball laced into left field. That'll be a base hit. Lopez will make the turn. PA over to get it. And Lopez now has a 10-game hit streak as he starts out the second inning with a leadoff double.
And now 3 for 6 lifetime against Guthrie. Take a look at the pitch from Jeremy up middle of the plate. You can almost see him throw his hands up. He knew he'd made a mistake and left it up.
Yeah, two-seam fastball just left over the middle of the plate. But, you know, going back to the outfielders and how fast they are and how well they're, nothing better for a starting pitcher to be on the mound or a pitcher period to know that you got some guys. If you can keep it in the ballpark and it goes out there, they're going to catch it, and that's big.
So now, leadoff man on with nobody out, and here's Gutierrez. Franklin Gutierrez 2 for 9 in this series. He is 6th in the league in strikeouts. 10 home runs. He's got an RBI opportunity here with Lopez pretty good speed on at second base. 2 for 5 with a home run lifetime off Guthrie. And the breaking ball will catch the outside corner to him for a strike. Gutierrez, telling you about good fielders. One of the outstanding center fielders right now in Major League Baseball. I mean, he really can run them down. He's gone 156 consecutive games without an error. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Got jammed. Runner's got to stay. Asturias got to make another great play, and no chance here. That will be an infield hit. A couple on with nobody out, and our second inning brought to you by Luna. Ichiro, 251 career doubles with the M's, the 3rd most in franchise history, behind Edgar Martinez and Ken Griffey Jr. Call today for the Luna Double. Get your second room of flooring free. Call 877-241-LUNA. So the first 2 on here in the second inning, and now Casey Kochman. Kochman grounds it to the hole. Knocked down by Wigginton. Guthrie covering and finds the bag. Runners move up, but the Orioles get the out.
That's just a great play by Whittington right there. Nice pitch, two-seam fastball sinking down and away from Kochman. Take a look at it right here. Just rolls over it in the hole, dives back in, comes up, makes a good throw to Jeremy, who's covering first base.
There might be a base hit. Turns out to be an out. And again, Wigginton, one of those players that Buck Showalter singled out today. Not too often you hear a manager really bragging and raving about his defense, and he was talking specifically about Wigginton and certainly the outfield play of late.
Now 2 in scoring position, and fooled in the pitch is Moore. Adam Moore came in not hitting very well, has had a tremendous series. He's gone 5 for 9, including his first 4-hit ball game in his Major League history. The 0-1 delivery to him, and that will be a strike on the outside corner. Lopez at third base, Gutierrez on at second. And Moore with the opportunity on a base hit to probably tie this ball game up. Good speed in the trail runner, Gutierrez. The 0-2 pitch will miss outside, 1-2.
And even though it's early in the game and it's a 2-0 lead, it's a real important sort of series of events. And so many pitches for Guthrie here the next couple of hitters. You go back to the first game of the series. There's 3 runs scored in the first 2 innings, but that was it until the 9th and 10th.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and he's got the outside corner. Manuel Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, and Guthrie gets a big strikeout. 2 down.
That's a huge strikeout. Runners on second, third, just 1 out. All it takes is a sacrifice fly, ground ball to one of the middle infielders, and the Mariners have their first run. But got ahead, did Guthrie, 1-2, and just paints the outside part of the plate with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
So now with 2 away, Gary Allenson on the left, third base coach for Buck Showalter. Here's Matuiasa Sopo. He was not supposed to play in the game last night. Boy, did he ever. He came in because Langerhans had a migraine 20 minutes before the game, inserted into the lineup. Home run, double, and 4 RBIs.
I'm sure Darren Brown really excited about that migraine.
Yes. Here's the 1-0 delivery to him. It is amazing how often that happens in baseball.
I can remember a game Steve Stone pitched, and there was a late substitution against the Angels. I think it was Rob Wilfong. And Rob Wilfong got all 3 hits off of Stone. He pitched a complete game 3-hitter. And he said, you know what it was? I had gone over the other 8 hitters in my mind, what I wanted to do when they put him in. I didn't know what to do.
And same holds true on the other side for the hitters in those situations. They haven't had time to think about it. They come to the ballpark, think they're sitting, they're relaxed, go through their pregame stuff, and hey, here we are. I'm going to watch another game.
Just like some pitchers, some guys couldn't be starting pitchers because they had 5 days to think about it. He gets so nervous.
And that one's to left field. It is deep, and he's done it again. Goodbye home run.
That's Babe Ruth.
Wow. Tuiasa Sopo had a home run in the 9th with 2 on last night. He's got a homer with 2 on in the 2nd, and it is 3-2 Seattle.
Yeah, he's driven in the last 7 runs scored by the Mariners. Hanging breaking ball in the middle of the plate.
I mean, talk about a hanger. Belt high, middle of the plate. And just like last night, the pitcher's making a mistake, and he does not miss him.
Our Exmo brought to you by H.H. Gregg. We make buying TVs and appliances simple. H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. So Jeremy Guthrie, who'd been staying away from that home run ball, surrenders his 19th. It is the 6th hit by a right-handed batter this year, and it is 3-2. And a chopper right back to the mound, right through the wickets. And that will be an error, and Josh Wilson is on. A ball with a lot of spin went right through Guthrie's legs.
And Guthrie, one of the best fielding pitchers in the game. It's a breaking ball right off the end of the bat. You're right. It has all that English. It's like a Massey shot and pool.
Yeah, actually a much tougher play than what it looks like. You said you can't imagine how that ball spins coming out there. Of course, a ball that Guthrie obviously should have caught. Might be still thinking about the mistake he made of the hanging breaking ball.
So, runner on, 2 down. And top of the order, Ichiro lined out his first time up. Ichiro 7 for 23 lifetime off Jeremy Guthrie. Ichiro continues his tear against the Orioles as he's got a .393 lifetime batting average against the O's, 3 home runs. And here in this ballpark, a .370 batting average against the Orioles. And Ichiro is going to take that one. And among the active players, you see only Albert Pujols has a higher batting average. The leading batting average for active players, Pujols, Ichiro, Joe Mauer, Todd Helton, and Vladimir Guerrero. And that one in the air to right center, coming over Markakis. He's got it. But the big home run, Tuiasa Sopo, good for 3 RBIs and a 1-run lead for the Mariners. Lon Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And by Acura. Acura Advance. With Mike Flanagan, Ben McDonald, Amber Theo Harris, and our great crew on a gray evening here at Camden Yards. A 3-2 lead. David Pauly will try and settle down and see if he can find the strike zone here. Wieters is Torres and Bell. Wieters a 1 for 6 in the series. 1-0 delivery by Pauly will be chopped at the plate. 1-1.
Given the benefit of the 3-run outburst by the Mariners, so as a pitcher now you have the lead. It's almost like a second chance, and first thing you want to do is to go out and impress your manager and pitching coach and teammates by maybe coming back and doing what you didn't do in the first and control that strike zone.
That's going to miss away to Wieters. 2-ball, 1-strike count. These two have to know each other pretty well. Wieters and Pauly in the organization in the minors to the Orioles at the same time. 2-1 pitch. Wieters will take it in the air to left center. Going back, Gutierrez. That is near the wall, and he's got it. Wow, that was a long run, and at the very last second, with Tuiasa Sopo standing next to him, he reached out and there it was.
It's almost like they didn't know who was going to catch it at the last second. Gutierrez decided, I'll catch it.
Doing a little bit of the bunny hop on the end, looked like. Almost maybe misjudging it.
Trying to avoid a potential collision, and he makes the catch.
Again,
One down.
Yeah, he's having a Gold Glove year in center field.
That'll bring up his Torres. 1 for 8 in the series with that .240 batting average. 1-0 delivery by Pauly is way up high and away. And a 2-0 count. Pauly is making his 7th start and his 11th appearance of the year for the Mariners. Earned his first major league win against the Cleveland Indians in his last outing. 6 innings, 2 runs, 7 hits. He'd gone 0-3 at the major league level last year, and is 1-7 now lifetime. That will be taken for a strike by Torres. Lopez, even with the bag at third base on him, popped him up to short. Wilson there, and he's got it. 2 down. That'll bring up Josh Bell. A couple of hits last night. The skipper talked about him before the game, remembering that this is very early in his career.
This guy's, in a lot of cases, a year and a half out of college. So, we're excited he's doing the things that he's doing now. Well, there's a process there. If you try to cheat that process, you're going to get burned in most cases. So we're trying to understand the process. But he's had some good at-bats, and he's starting to adjust his clock a little bit defensively about when he needs to hurry and when he doesn't.
Adjusting the clock about knowing who's running, who's at the plate, how much time do you have to make the throw, can I take a crow hop if I got to gun it. That's what the skipper's talking about there defensively at third base for Bell. 1-1 delivery on the way to him. Over the top on that one, 1-2.
And nobody could really figure out the starting pitcher last night with the changeup, but Josh Bell 2 for 3, double multi-hit game and no hitter until Josh Bell broke it up.
He'll get down to first with this one. Casey Kochman will go to the bag. And so Pauly does come back after a tough first inning and retires the side in order. Mariners up. Rangers tomorrow, 7:05. Hope you'll get out to Camden Yards to see just how the Orioles respond to a team that right now is leading their division and a really good offensive ball club. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. 4 games against the Rangers. And it's scheduled to be Brian Mattis against Colby Lewis in the opener tomorrow night. Orioles have Jake Arrieta, Brad Bergeson, and Kevin Millwood going. C.J. Wilson, Cliff Lee, and Tommy Hunter scheduled starters for Texas.
That should be a good series.
Texas got beat today by Tampa Bay. 8-6 was the final. Tampa Bay is just reeling them off. For the moment, they have a half-game lead against the Yankees, depending on the Yankees' outcome tonight. Texas still has a 7.5-game lead over the Angels. That is outside, and it goes to 1-1. Hottest team right now in the majors, Minnesota. They've won 5 in a row. They've extended their lead over the White Sox to 4 games. And Tampa Bay has now won 5 in a row. Towards the hole, cut off by Bell. He was playing in. Higgins retired. Time now for our AT&T Mobility Trivia question, and tonight it is on this date, 89. Cal played in his 1,208th consecutive game. Who did he pass for 3rd on the all-time list?
I would guess Steve Garvey.
So we don't say Garvey. I remember Garvey being on the list.
Steve Garvey. Here's Russell Branyan, and the answer is flippity-flip-flip. Steve Garvey.
There it is. 1,207.
That's a lot of ball games.
A lot of games, consecutive or otherwise.
Yeah, any games, period.
1 ball, 1 strike count on Russell Branyan. Branyan denied on a fine catch made in right field by Markakis. His first time up. Only 1 hit and 9 at bats in this series for Branyan. And he said Branyan has been an all or nothing. 12 for 25. 12 of the 25 hits he's had have been long balls against the Orioles. Bell guns it. Go! He was playing in the overload at shortstop, really, and had a long way to go to even get to it.
What a great play. Talk about another ball hit off the end of the bat. That ball's cued off the end, got all kind of English on it and everything. Bell goes his right, bare hands it. Makes a great throw over the Whittington right there. Look at this play right here. I mean, just in time to get Branyan.
Now that's that clock that Buck Showalter was talking about, knowing how much to put on the throw, how fast a runner is. He said because of the big league levels, good to see a smile on Josh Bell's face, too. Runners are faster, the ball's hit harder. Again, they play more shifts in the major leagues. I mean, it's almost like he was coming from the shortstop position, but starting to get it. He said he's always had the arm to handle the major league level, but again, just knowing how hard to throw it and when to throw it.
Well, it's just all about experience and getting enough at bats as a batter, getting enough time in the field. If you're a pitcher, used to always tell me when I came up it was going to be around 150 innings pitched in the big leagues before the light bulb kind of goes on, before you start to try to figure things out a little bit. And it just takes experience. And look, there's some tough times. There's some good times, too. I mean, it's a good night last night offensively for Bell. Had a couple of big hits, but all learning.
I had to feel like he was kind of joining the club last night with breaking up the no-hitter, being one of the few hits, even though it was in a loss. He had to feel his status certainly a little bit more like he belongs.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's only his 22nd game this year, and he may have a 5-3 inning. See, he had time, and he took it. 5-3, 5-3, 5-3, and 3 up and 3 down. M's have the 3-2 lead. Verizon, the signal is yours. Wield it to transmit anything you want. Verizon had a chance to talk with the skipper, Buck Showalter, before the start of the game today. Said, how's it going?
It's good to see smiles on people's faces. You can tell there's a, I don't know. I knew the passion, the energy of the fans here in Baltimore, and we just got to continue to make strides about getting people's trust back, about where we're headed and what we're going to do. You're not going to hear talk about some year 2, 3, 4, 5-year plan or trying to win X number of games and that's not the way you look at it. You take each day, you grind it out, you try to finish every thing that you're trying to improve on instead of jumping around to a bunch of things and not getting it done, and hope the product of work gets you closer to where you want to go.
We'll be hearing from Buck throughout the ballgame on our Wired Wednesday as he talked about how it's going in this game number 16 for him. 10-5 the Orioles. Roberts flies out, one away, third inning.
Well, David Pauly started to settle down a little bit. Got Roberts on a changeup right there. Had a good second inning after a not so good first inning where he walked Brian Roberts in a single and a couple more singles, gave up 2 runs, but boy, settled down nicely in the second inning. 3 up, 3 down, and off to a good start here in the third as well.
Nick Markakis will take it for his strike. Nick had a single and scored in the first inning. Nick again edging up towards the 300 mark, hitting at 291 right now. And Markakis will take it away for a ball. One more double, he'll have 40. It'll be the 4th straight season of doing so when he gets it, and the longest consecutive 40 doubles season in Orioles history. He's tied with Brian Roberts right now at 3 consecutive 40 double seasons. And no reason to believe Nick won't be piling up those kind of doubles numbers for some time to come. Pauly with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. And that's down low, 3-1. Quick pace for the 27-year-old right-hander. 3 home runs off him on the year. Right-handers, left-handers, about the same average against him on the year. 253 left, 266 right.
There's no doubt what Pauly wants to do. I mean, you see the game plan. His fastball is going to be anywhere from 87 to 90. Good 2-seam sinking fastball. Seems like he wants to stay away on the lefties and sink it down away. Then throw that changeup right behind it. Seems to be his second best pitch so far tonight. And he's mixing in a little looping breaking ball he really hadn't found yet, as he just paints the inside corner with a fastball right there.
You don't see Nick called out on strikes very often.
Well, it's all just because he went away, then he fooled Markakis and came inside. I mean, had 4 or 5 pitches, including some changeups and fastballs, all on the outside part of the plate. Of course, Nick's looking out there again, and what does Pauly do? He comes right back inside, which makes the perfect pitch on the inside part of the plate.
So quickly, 2 down here in the third inning. And Ty Wigginton. Wigginton hit into a fielder's choice. First time up. Home run picked up by Tuiasa Sopo in the second inning. 3 runs. And that's the lead in the ball game. Wigginton to short, Wilson up. And another 1-2-3 inning. Count the double play in the first inning. That's 8 in a row retired now by Pauly.
Located next to the newly renovated club-level entrance behind home plate, the All-Star Cafe features a marketplace-style food court with a rotating menu of made-to-order entrees and an extensive dessert station. Cafe is open for all club-level ticket holders. That's the All-Star Cafe, new on Oriole Park's club level. Gary?
Yum, yum. Ground ball to short, base hit. First ball hitting right there. Gutierrez is 2 for 2. He's got a couple of singles and a run scored so far in the ball game as the M's are jumping on those first pitch strikes.
Yeah, the difference is, Guthrie been so consistent, 6 quality starts in a row, won 4 of those, but if you take it, he's still getting ahead in the count a good bit, but the problem is those balls are getting left right over the middle of the plate, and the difference for him this year has been he's gotten ahead, but it's been quality pitches on the inner third and outer third with that first pitch. Can't live right in the middle of that strike zone.
Here is Casey Kochman. He's first ball hitting to center. Jones. One away. For Guthrie against the Mariners, it's 7 career starts prior to this one. 2 wins, 3 losses, a 4.07 ERA. Here in this ballpark, he has not beaten Seattle. He's 0-2 at Camden Yards against Seattle. Overall, Jeremy this year at home, 5-5, 3.6 ERA, and lifetime 16 wins and 25 losses here at Camden Yards with a 4.25 earned run average at home.
Yeah, he's really turned the page from last year, where he led the AL with 17 losses and gave up 35 home runs, which also led the American League last year, and had an ERA above 5. So this year's been a much different year, much more consistent. Wasn't a guy a whole lot of people were talking about in the Oriole rotation in spring training. But boy, he sure stepped up with some quality outings this year and been the Orioles' most consistent starting pitcher.
Yeah, he really has reverted back to the seasons of 07 and 08. 07 he was 7-5 with a 3.70 ERA. 08 he was 10-12 with a 3.60, and he had the 5 ERA last year, but now at 3.88 and 7-11. So he really has, and the home runs are sort of coincide with those better seasons.
It's the work against right-handers that he's had the most dramatic improvement against. The right-handers hit 274 and had 14 homers against him last year. He's reduced that from 274 to 223 by right-handed batters, and the home runs have gone from 14 to 6. 1-0 count, runner at first with 1 down. Runner goes, slow chopper, look to second. He'll go to first. Moore is retired. Gutierrez will go down to second base, but there are 2 down.
Tuiasosopo has had a career the last couple of nights supplying the offense. Again, he's knocked in the last 7 runs by the Mariners. First 116 games. You can see the home runs 30%. Last 5 games, 76%. That's the 10th home run against the Orioles. Again, they've only hit 75 on the year.
Yeah.
They look like the 27 Yankees.
Tuiasosopo is trying to earn a spot for next year. He was talking about it. Seattle papers in the coverage of last night. He realizes this is a chance for him. Darren Brown spoke up and said, look, he's going to get a chance to play and show us whether or not he's a major league caliber everyday ball player, which he has not been yet in his career.
He's an outstanding athlete, comes from a very athletic family. Maybe the comparison is to Gehrig. Maybe Langerhans is Wally Pipp.
Yeah. I got a feeling the headache of Langerhans is a lot better.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it really is feeling much better today.
1 ball, 1 strikeout.
Yeah, going to be tough to get him out of the lineup now. All he's hitting like that.
He was called up from AAA on the 31st of July. He has not had a lot of chances. Only hitting .235 with 5 home runs and 30 games played at AAA. 2-1 delivery on the way to him, and Guthrie gets the outside corner, and the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And that's been a big reason why you mentioned Guthrie doing a better job this year getting the right-handers out. He's been able to control the outer part of that plate this year a lot better. I mean, that's a 2-1 pitch, a little off the plate. Home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez gives it to him right there. Nonetheless, 2-2, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out.
Runner off second base, in the air to center, not deep. Jones. And that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 1-run ball game. The M's on top. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Lavezzo. Dancing machines, one and all. Three-two ball game, bottom of the fourth inning. 3-4-0 for the Mariners. 2-2-1 for the Orioles. 2 left by Seattle, 1 by the O's so far. Luke Scott a single and the 2 RBIs that came in the first inning. And Scott continues to approach the 300 overall average. And continues to be the third best average at home in his home yard, hitting .343. Gutierrez started in. He'll have time to back up and haul it in, and Scott's retired.
Now on the button, nice backspin line drive by Luke Scott. Just poor direction.
Tough throwing strikes.
Yeah, pretty tough outfield if you're going to hit the center field and right field on this against these two clubs.
Yeah, that's eight consecutive outs he's got.
Paulie gave it up early in the first, starting with a walk to Roberts, and couldn't find the strike zone. Now he's getting ahead of hitters. Here's Jones hit by a pitch, his first time up. Adam will take the pitch down low for a ball. Adam doing a great job in the month of August. He, coming into today's play at least, had the second highest batting average in the month of August in the American League. 1-0 delivery and a strike called on the outside corner. That pitch is being called a strike consistently. 365 in August with a couple of home runs for Adam Jones. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery to him. Breaking ball for a strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, we talked so much about early in the ball game when it first starts for a starting pitcher. And all your pitchers are working. Paulie's been constantly trying to work that breaking ball in the first 3 innings, and all of a sudden here in the 4th inning it's starting to show up.
Yeah, it's gotten much sharper. Somebody need to take that edge off. That is pitch number 50. I'm sure you'd like to come sooner than that.
1-2 will be slashed away.
And that's the difference. He's throwing strikes, as you mentioned, and he's also spotting that ball a lot better. You don't see too many balls in the middle of the plate anymore. Everything's on the inner third, the outer third. Change-up's been there really since the second inning, and now all of a sudden here comes the breaking ball.
Paulie's trying to earn a spot with the ball club, not only this year but for next year, and he ate him up inside. Got him, and the tag put on. So Jones, the second strikeout victim.
There's 1-2 pitch. You see this breaking ball has finish. We weren't seeing that in the first inning. Adam was in disbelief that he chased it.
Yeah, and the reason why he swings it is because earlier in the at-bat, Paulie had thrown him a breaking ball, almost the same pitch, a little bit higher, but started it right at him. And so, of course, Jones sees, well, he can throw his breaking ball for a strike, and he sees it again. Well, I got to hit it. It's going to be a strike again.
Felix Pie, 2 down, nobody on. Pie hit into a double play his first time up. Tonight's Maryland Lottery Hit It Here fan of the game, Carolyn Williams from Baltimore. If an Orioles player hits the Hit It Here sign in the bullpen, Carolyn, you get $100 grand. To find out more about it, you can become the fan of the game. Go to mdlottery.com/hitithere. Good luck. Bunted, foul. And to follow up, a couple of stories, much in the news yesterday, of course, with Bobby Thompson passing away and the shot heard round the world called by Russ Hodges and been replayed and replayed a billion times. I just was interested in looking at some of the history of that and went back. And I was looking in the New York Times archives. They had a story on the day of the game. Russ Hodges on the scorecard, which is now in the Hall of Fame, did not mark the home run. He got so excited at the end of the ball game, is understandably so.
Well, sure.
The home run was hit. They're going to the World Series, whatever. So the scorecard has nothing in that box where the home run was hit, which I guess makes it even more of a story than if he'd put it in.
Well, you'd almost think maybe 10 or 15 years later he might have filled it in.
Yeah.
You know, just, you know what? I forgot to put that down. Well, that was a pretty important home run.
Yeah, so the Hall of Fame's got the scorecard. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and that one is a fair ball. Nobody knew quite where it was, and Moore jumps out and makes the play and gets PA. We'll have the call of the game by Hodges in case you missed it when we come back. 3-2 Mariners. On a playoff series, third game decisive. Russ Hodges at the microphone and Bobby Thompson at the plate. Bobby Thompson, who passed away yesterday. That ball will be a base hit into right field. And a leadoff single by Josh Wilson going into the fifth. Just a couple of other notes before we leave that moment. I went back in the New York Times to see, did it matter that day as much as it has in baseball history? Did they realize what went on? The New York Times story called it an electrifying finish to what will long be remembered as the most thrilling pennant race in history. Leo DeRocher and his astounding Never Say Die Giants wrenched victory from the jaws of defeat at the Polo Grounds yesterday, vanquishing the Dodgers 5-4 with a 4-run splurge in the last half of the ninth. So yes.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
One of baseball's great moments. Number 42 was on the field at that time, playing on the losing side. Mr. Robinson.
Willie Mays on deck.
Willie Mays was on deck. Ichiro fouls it away. Jackie Robinson did not come off the field with his team. He stayed out on the field, and he watched Bobby Thompson run to make sure that he touched every base, because he was going to call for the bonehead Merkel call.
Right.
The historic home run that Merkel hit and didn't touch all the bases and got called out. So he stayed out on the field and watched him run around and then left.
And pretty amazing, the attention, I guess, to detail.
Yeah.
Every little edge.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Ichiro has lined out and flied out. 3 for 13 in this series. Well, make it 4 for 14. Down the line. Coming to third, Wilson. Lee Tinsley is going to wave him home. Markakis has trouble handling it. Ichiro will go to third. He's got a triple and an RBI, and it's a 4-2 game.
Well, you can just hold Ichiro down so long. Such a good hitter throughout his career, especially against the Orioles. He got a ball and just ripped it down the right field line. You see that awkward corner down there. Ball kind of scoots away from Markakis a little bit, but I think Ichiro had third easily on that anyway, the way he runs.
Yeah, the part of that wall right at the bottom is concrete, and the ball will come off harder than if it hits that low padding that's on the side of the wall. So that ball hugs the ground. It's going to bounce or have a different bounce, and that's why Nick plays right field so well here, to be able to read the different bounces off the different surfaces.
They're going to call an error on that. It'll be a double and an error. It is a 4-2 ball game. There will be an RBI for Ichiro in any event, his 31st. And a 4-2 lead. Now the infield's drawn in with Figgins up. And Figgins will take it for a strike. He has struck out and grounded out.
And how rare is it that Nick Markakis get an error? You have to go back 168 games in right field and 1,476 innings since his last error. That's how good he has been out in the right field.
Wow. Figgins will foul it back, trying to get Ichiro in. Sean Figgins only a couple of hits and 12 at-bats in the series. Seattle now with 4 runs on 6 hits off Jeremy Guthrie. Takes a look at Ichiro at third. That'll be in the air to left field. Very shallow PA. He makes the catch. Ichiro's going to come anyway. Here's the throw to the plate, and he's in. Throw was off on the first base side, so Wieters had to go after it, dove back, but the hands of Ichiro reached the plate first, and another.
Well, it may be the shortest sacrifice fly you'll ever see, and also the line to the plate. Really tough for PA to make a throw and not try to hit Ichiro, just out of his reach.
Yeah, throw there in plenty of time, just up the line toward first base.
So credit Figgins with the RBI on the sac fly. Figgins gets his 30th run batted in of the season. That'll clear the bases, and a 5-2 lead now for Seattle. Their scoring has come quickly. Tuiasa Sopo with a 3 RBI homer, the RBI double Ichiro, and then the sac fly and the next batter. Fouled off. You could see the athletic ability of Ichiro in that slide. I mean, it wasn't, I don't know, you'd never see a slide. It wasn't a slide, really. I don't know what it was. One leg, arm out, bounced right back up. He never...
Like a cat, just pounced. You know, and you know what Lawson had is just his perfect timing on the tag up, too. Went back, got his foot in the bag, and took off just as PA was catching it.
Here's the 0-2 delivery. That'll miss outside to Branyan, who's been robbed twice. Once by Marquez in right and once by Bell at third. Watch how he comes in here. Just kind of a cha-ching and up. I don't think Wieters ever touched him. Fouled off.
Hey, you know what Buck Showalter, again, talking about the clock. That's what the speed that Ichiro plays the game at. So under control, but yet at a high rate of speed all the time and just great agility.
Guthrie behind by 3 now after getting the early lead, 2-0 in the ball game. Branyan, a big uppercut, swings foul, tips it, says the umpire. Wieters caught it though. 3 strikeouts for Guthrie.
Take a look at it. It looked like a changeup. Ball left middle of the plate. That's been a little bit of the difference for Guthrie tonight. I mean, that ball's supposed to be down and away to more or less middle of the plate. He's missed a few times with his location. I tell you what, the Mariners have made him pay for it tonight. Just not quite as sharp tonight as he has been his previous 6 starts.
Here is Lopez, who will take a strike. He has double scored and grounded out, a 10-game hit streak for him. That will miss outside, and the count goes to 1-1. Jose Lopez, 242 on the year, and a rainmaker in the infield to first. Played in foul territory. Lopez is retired, but a couple of runs in on 2 hits, and it makes it a 5-2 Mariners lead.
Relievers. Jim Johnson pitched 2 scoreless innings last night in Frederick. He's scheduled to pitch back-to-back games on Thursday and Friday in Bowie. Then he'll pitch back-to-back games again August 24th and 25th. He'll be reevaluated. He'll most likely rejoin the team around the time that the rosters expand. Now, as for David Hernandez, he's rehabbing that ankle down in Sarasota. He began some light throwing. Buck Showalter is concerned about maintaining his arm strength. The problem is, though, that he does have that ankle sprain, and that's his plant leg. So the recovery is going to be a little bit longer. We could see him after rosters expand, maybe a week or 2 into September, Gary.
All right, Amber, we'll hear from the manager in our Wired Wednesday, Buck Showalter, on the call-ups in September and his own feeling about that. Great, though, that Tatum did not have any serious problem that was going to require him going to DL. Matt Wieters will lead it off. David Pauly is settled in. Wieters flying out to center his first time up in the ball game. The Orioles got a 2 RBI single from Scott in the first. Since then, they've not had a hit. In fact, they haven't had a base runner. Jones was hit by a pitch after the Scott single, but he got taken out in a double play, and since then Pauly's been mowing him down.
Yeah, 10 in a row since hitting Jones. 10 up, 10 out.
1 ball, 1 strike count on Wieters. And that'll be fouled off the other way, 1-2.
Well, it happens so often, starting pitchers, once they get their chance to get their feet in the ground a little bit, figure out what's going on, get out of a couple big jams, lots of times they're off to the races. And Paulie's been no different tonight. Really struggled the first inning with his control and command, but was pretty well. Really started hitting spots, getting that curveball over, throwing a changeup.
And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Paulie has had 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Guthrie, no walks and 3 strikeouts. 1-2 delivery, foul back again. For Matt Wieters offensively, the Orioles have to be concerned. He's reached the number of games this season that he had played last year. The numbers have not gone up. The average, in fact, as you see, has dipped. The RBIs are down. The home runs even. And it's not the kind of progression you want to see, especially from a foundation player who you are really trying to build your franchise around. So a lot of work will be done here to finish out this season and in the offseason. As Buck Showalter watches here to see what the growth is going to be for Matt Wieters. 1-2 delivery, swung on and missed. 3rd strikeout for Paulie.
Well, this has been a lot of his problem this year, is chasing pitches out of the zone. It's tough. He's still learning. You got to remember, it's a good changeup, 83 miles an hour. So much on his mind, trying to work with a young pitching staff. Also, he's trying to, I got to remember, he's not a veteran guy either. He's learning at the big league level, too, how to hit as well.
As Torres trying to bunt for a base hit, fouls it off. He popped out his first time up. Bell waiting on deck.
Yeah, I think they saw the progression certainly through the minor leagues. Certainly Matt Wieters' numbers in the minor leagues, 343, and this is in 169 games in his career in the minor leagues, 32 home runs, 121 RBIs, and that's with just about 600 at-bats.
To the hole, Figgins. It's a tough running throw and gets his Torres. And there are 2 down here in the 5th inning. The Orioles will be hosting the Red Sox for the final time this season. It'll be August 31 through September 2. Good seats still remain, but will not last. Get out to the ballpark, painted orange. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD, or go to Orioles.com. Boston finding themselves 5.5 games out. Tampa Bay won again today. That one grounded down to first and foul. It's more and more like it'll be Tampa Bay and the Yankees coming out of the East for the postseason, along with Minnesota and Texas. They are the teams right now driving. A long way to go yet, but they're in pretty good shape. That is in there for a strike, 0-2.
Yeah, nice backdoor breaking ball by Paulie right there. Ball almost came around the plate, started way over in the right-hander's batter's box, and just caught it.
He is just nailing the left-handers with that breaking ball that's bouncing in the dirt sometimes, so the hitters cannot stay off it. Another 1-2-3 inning. Buck Showalter talked with him before the game, the September call-ups, his feeling about how to use that time frame.
First of all, I view them how Andy and the organization views it, because they know a lot more about what the needs are of those guys and who's ready for it and what have you. And there's some people you just like to expose to it, but you don't like to bring a lot of people up here unless they're a part of what you're going to want to do in the future. And every look I get, these are precious innings and precious outs and precious time here when you're trying to make good decisions as we go forward for all of us. And you don't want to bring somebody up here unless you can make use of that.
Pitches taken away, Gutierrez.
Well, yeah, and it's really about, what number. Other clubs are going to be bringing up a certain amount. I'm sure teams at the top, like I'm sure the Yankees and Tampa Bay are going to be bringing up a number of players. And you don't want to really feel undermanned in that situation either.
Played at third by Bell. Gutierrez is retired. He's 2 for 3 now, 1 away, 6th inning.
Yeah, so it's a fine line. You usually want to bring up a few relievers. You're not sure who's going to get starts. I can imagine a starter or two coming up. But the worst thing you want, too, is to have guys come up. You have no playing time for them, and they become somewhat of a distraction on the bench.
Yeah,
they're just happy to be here, and you're, trying to accomplish something.
And it sounds like he's saying, too, that, hey, I got enough to look at right here. That, I want to make sure my guys that are up here right now get enough of an opportunity. I don't want to take at bats or innings away from anybody that I'm looking at for next year in the future.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the between the lines reading it, and not very far between the lines either, is what he was saying. Good play right there. Wigginton, Kochman retired, 2 down. Take a look. Box score so far.
Yeah, kind of the top of the bottom of the Mariner lineup, doing a lot of damage. Tuyasa Sopo again, really the ringleader among the group.
Jeremy Guthrie working with 2 down, nobody on against Moore, who has struck out and grounded out. No walks, 3 strikeouts in the ball game for Guthrie, and swung out a miss with a good off-speed breaking ball.
It seems like after that first game where he had 4 base hits in this series, they're really going to try to stay away from the fastball.
Yeah, he showed him he can hit the fastball, and he can hit it a long way, and Orioles have had good luck with him throwing that breaking ball just out there right off the plate.
That's the kind of play Bell wants to make. When we're talking about getting a chance to see your players and what you do, Bell unable to glove that one. It will be an infield hit for Moore.
Yeah, he's made a couple great plays. Play right here, tries to go to the ball, just hits right on the pinky side of his glove right there. Never really gets in the glove. Again, had plenty of time. Moore doesn't run real well. He's a catcher.
He gets the infield single. It'll bring up Tuyasa Sopo with 2 down. He had that big home run in the 2nd inning, a 3 RBI shot. With that homer now, the Orioles have been out-homered here at Camden Yards this year, 79 to 52. The long ball has been used against the Orioles in their own ballpark this season. 1-0 delivery. That one in the air to center field. Jones going back. He's got this one lined up, and Adam will put it away. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. A 5-2 Mariners lead. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. And by H.H. Gregg. We make buying TVs and appliances simple. H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. With Mike Flanagan, Ben McDonald, Amber Theo Harris, a great crew here at Camden Yards. I'm Gary Thorne. A very still night. Rained right up and really until the ball game started. Lightly, light drizzle. It has held off. And in the overcast, the foggy night ongoing. 5-2 Mariners.
Not a whole lot going on the Oriole box score. Markakis single, scored a run. Di Wigginton scored, and 2-run single.
4 consecutive 1-2-3 innings have been put up by the 27-year-old right-hander David Pauly. Roberts walked in the first. Flied out his last time up. And the breaking ball will miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pauly, after his second win of the year, he's 1-4, having only worked 35 innings coming into the ball game. That one will be up and away, and a 2-ball, 1 strike count. Right-handers 2-1. He wanted that and didn't get it.
Yeah, that pitch has been a strike most of the night. It wasn't there. Runs the count 3-1. Roberts got it all going for the Orioles in the first inning with a leadoff walk. Same pitch.
That time fouled off, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, it really throws very few pitches in. We can remember the Markakis called strike 3, but other than that, that sinker, he just really aims it for the outside corner.
Darren Brown, the interim manager, looking on over there. That ball fouled away. Obviously in Seattle, as there was here in Baltimore, much discussion about who the next manager might be. Bobby Valentine's name has certainly been mentioned as the leading candidate. Some discussion there. Ichiro was quoted on ESPN as having said he favored Bobby Valentine, would like to see him come. Ichiro said, I never said that. That one to center field. It is deep at the wall and caught. No, bounces up in the air. Roberts has got a double. Gutierrez caught one of those earlier in the ball game, but that one just out of his reach. Bounds off the warning track and up, and it's a 2-bagger.
It seems like he's had a little bit of problem with the warning track area in left center field. Up and out over the plate. He had that sort of sideways route to the ball last time.
Yeah, it's almost like he's feeling like he's fixing to run into the wall right there.
He's not comfortable where the wall is.
Exactly. Certainly a play he's capable of making. He runs a ton of balls down the gap every year.
Nick Markakis with a runner at second. Nick has singled, scored, and been called out on strikes. Orioles get just their 3rd hit. They only had 3 in the ball game last night. Markakis will take it for a strike. Others mentioned managerial-wise in the Seattle press. Joey Cora, who was a finalist when Don Wakamatsu was hired. Tony La Russa, his deal's up. In St. Louis, Dusty Baker, his deal is up with the Reds. You got to believe they're going to re-sign him now. Brian Price is a former pitching coach with the M's. John Farrell, the Red Sox pitching coach, he's been interviewed a few times. Wally Backman, the former Met who had a job and lost it almost upon being hired by the Diamondbacks. Willie Randolph, who's out there. Those are some of the names that have been bandied about.
I guess not too often you hear Ichiro making quotes, period.
No.
When's the last time you saw an Ichiro quote?
No. And he was quick to come to the press after that story got out. He said, no, I would never do that. That is a disservice to my teammates to be talking about favoring someone to be a manager. I did not say I favored Valentine. I'm not saying I don't. I just never have made such a comment.
Right.
2-ball, 1 strike count on Nick Markakis. Nick hitting at 290 as he stands in as the Orioles try and get back down by 3 here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Right back to the mound. Holds the runner. Gets the out. 1 away. Join Orioles Reach, Masson and Brian Roberts on Sunday, 6 to 9. It is the 5th annual Brian's Baseball Bash. University of Maryland Hospital for Children, the benefactor. Dave and Buster's, the site. That's at the Arundel Mills Mall. There'll be silent and live auctions. Memorabilia will be there that you can purchase to help the children. $200 for adults, $150 children under 12. Information 410-328-3637. That's this Sunday. Ty Wigginton. Breaking ball in the inside corner. Wigginton is hit into a fielder's choice, scored, and grounded out. You can see how good that breaking ball is to these right-handers. They saw Wigginton back off. We've seen that a number of times where the hitters have backed away on that pitch, and it's ended up being a strike. 1-1.
Yeah, that's what he likes to do. Even the left-handers, he likes that backdoor breaking ball to the left-handers, which is the same pitch he throws to the right-handers, which means he starts it right at the right-handers, and they buckle just for a second. He breaks it over the inside part of the plate. Then he's been good enough when he's gotten ahead with 2 strikes, as Paulie, he's been able to throw the same pitch, but lower in the zone, having it bounce and having the Orioles swing over it and miss it.
Goes outside with that slurve slider thing. Just kind of slid across the plate and away.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was.
You see that first pitch, first inning, 23 pitches. It's been on cruise control. Again, 12 pitches an inning is considered excellent.
Wigginton with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Ty will take that way outside. Ty hitting .258 against the Mariners this season. 1 home run, couple of RBIs against them. Wigginton, as I'm sure all Oriole fans have seen in the stories regarding he and Luke Scott, they're going to be staying here as the Orioles have run their roster through the waiver wire, and both Scott and Wigginton apparently were claimed, and the Orioles pulled them back. That one down to third base. Lopez up, and will get the out. Roberts can't move up again. Wigginton grounding out. 2 down now with a runner at second.
Yeah, you can see this time of the year where a club may blow on a block and would claim Wigginton and Scott, not wanting them to go. There's obviously a few teams that could use a Luke Scott and a Ty Wigginton.
So they should be with the Orioles for the remainder of the season. 2 down here in the 6th inning. Luke Scott, single, 2 RBIs in the first, and the flied out to center his last time up.
Yeah, Scott got that 2-seam fastball by Paulie in the first inning before he really got his feet on the ground. 2-seam fastball left up in the zone, and he did a nice job hitting it out there for knocking in the only 2 Oriole runs.
1-0. We mentioned it earlier. Paulie with runners in scoring position. The number against him, 188 opponent batting average. He's gotten 2 outs here in the 6th inning with a runner in scoring position. He got 1 out in the first inning after Scott did pick up the base hit with the runners in scoring position. 2-0 delivery. And Luke will take it down low, and the changeup, 3-0.
He hasn't featured too many changeups, but you can tell what the scouting report is. With Luke Scott, you get in a situation where you need to throw a fastball. Don't. They're throwing a lot of breaking balls and fastball counts or straight changeups. Again, that's a pitch Paulie's only used occasionally today.
Well, they gave in to Scott in the first inning in a pretty big situation. 3 balls and 1 strike, and threw a fastball up out over the plate and paid for it. So being much more careful this time.
Tailed away, and it gets the swinging strike.
You can see how careful he's being. Throws him a 3-0 changeup.
Pretty much conceding. You can take first if you want. I'm just not going to give in.
Right.
I think it's a concession to how hot Luke Scott has been.
That's right. Only danger with that is you bring Adam Jones to the plate, and 1 swing by him can tie the ball game up. That's the only danger of walking Scott in this situation.
Adam waiting on deck with 2 down. 3-1 delivery. Scott 3-2.
I don't think Luke's figured out yet. He's trying to pitch around him a little bit. It looks like 3-0 change up down the zone. He swung through. 3-1 change up to make it 3-2 now.
No, just like the look on Showalter's face right there was almost like, what is he trying to do with these off-speed pitches? You know, if you put him on, just as you're saying, and Adam Jones goes deep, you got a tie game. If Luke Scott goes deep here, you're still leading.
Exactly right.
3-2. Let's see what Pauly goes with. Roberts off second base. And did he go? No, it's a walk. So the second walk of the ball game, the first since Roberts had one in the bottom of the first inning.
And this is where he could really get burned. 3-2 breaking ball, 3-0, 2-0, 3-0, and 3-2 breaking ball, all off speed pitches.
Luke did a nice job laying off that after going after those first two actually change-ups.
So a lot of times hitting coach Terry Crowley would say, good take. I mean, that was some tough takes through that count when you're ahead and you really feel like you're in the driver's seat and you're going to get something hit. But it also shows that, you know, Luke Scott is maturing as more of an RBI type player when he can lay off those type of pitches.
So Adam Jones in a big moment here in this ball game with a 5-2 Mariners lead. And Jones will take it down low for a ball.
We'll be setting him up for a burn right here.
Pauly has not surrendered a home run in the last 3 ball games pitched. He's given up 3 on the year. This just his 7th start and 11th appearance. Jones over the top of that one. 1-1.
Yeah, I see Pauly starting to pitch backwards now. He's getting behind in the count. Getting those fastball situations. Oriole hitters thinking they're going to get that fastball. That was a 1-0 changeup right there.
Pitching coach Gar Willis on the phone. 1-1, runners off first and second base. Boy, he does get some movement on that pitch. Foul tipped into the Met. 1-2.
Yeah, they really haven't been patient enough to lay off. And the majority, I say, his good breaking balls have been out of the zone.
That's all just learning experience. See that breaking ball going down and away. So he's seen a changeup. Got a 1-0 changeup. A strike one to bring it 1-1. Then he gets the breaking ball 1-1. What's he going to get here? Another breaking ball.
It'll go to short. Wilson goes to first. And Pauly works his way out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. The Mariners lead it 5-2. Wins in a row and 4 wins in his last 5 starts. He's had 6 consecutive quality starts coming into this ball game. Tonight, a couple of jams and that big home run to Tuiasa Sopo in the second. That's been the big shot of the game. Been a good matchup, he and David Pauly. And the breaking ball is taken for a strike.
Yeah, you never
9-hitter Wilson.
Never want to give up the homers, and solo homers normally aren't too bad of a thing. But boy, you start giving up those 3-run shots, you get in trouble in a hurry.
Adam Jones. He's got it. Wilson retired, one away. That'll bring up Ichiro. He was credited with a double and an error charged on Markakis in the 5th inning. Should this really have been a triple?
Yeah, I'm certainly not sure. If he watches this play, the ball will go down into the corner. And you watch where Ichiro is in his path. He's heading to second. Right here, he is thinking 3 all the way. Nick goes to barehand it. Really the only chance he would have to try to get Ichiro going to third base. But I think he would have made it clearly. So I really do not think that should be scored an error.
Ichiro never hesitated, didn't even know that Markakis bobbled the ball. He was going 3 the whole time.
And as Mike pointed out, that put an error up for Nick for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I don't think that really affects our judgment on the play. I think just ruling on the play itself. And again, Nick is so good in right field at barehanding the ball. He does it better than anybody. And again, that's the only way. If he was going to play that safe and maybe be a double, well, he would have caught it with his glove, and I'll just get it back in. But the only way he could stop Ichiro from even having a chance to go to third base was to barehand the ball.
2 ball, 1 strikeout on Ichiro, and you foul that away. Ichiro an RBI, Figgins an RBI, and the 3 RBI homer by Tuiasa Sopo. The Orioles 2 RBI single first inning by Scott.
Yeah, the Orioles have had the best luck against Ichiro in this series, throwing fastballs away, which is what Guthrie's going to try to do right here. It was the breaking ball that he hit down the first base line for a double.
Ichiro now with a 12-game hit streak here in this ballpark. That'll go to Brian Roberts. Hustles it over to get him. And there are 2 down here in the 7th inning. Join Orioles Reach and the Oriole Advocates for the 2010 Cardboard to Leather Collection at Oriole Park. It'll be before the Yankee game on September 18. Volunteers will be at each gate to accept donations of new and gently used baseball and softball equipment. Monetary donations obviously will help. Those contributing are going to receive an autographed Luke Scott player card. For details, OriolesReach.com. That's going to be on September 18. Great drive for equipment for the kids. And a strike on the inside corner. 2 down, nobody on. Figgins up. Kids like that who clearly are driven. Well, that's how they got here.
And always be ready on defense.
Always. 0-2 count. Figgins trying to lay the bunt down. Figgins RBI sac fly 0 for 2 officially. A couple of hits and 12 at bats in this series. Jeremy Guthrie still throwing effectively here in the 7th inning. He's given up the 5 runs on 7 hits. The Orioles have been able to collect again as they did last night, only 3 hits.
Yeah, that's just his 85th pitch. And last time out, and shut out Tampa Bay through 6. He had 102.
Yeah, and he's still chewing up innings, which is very, very important. Here in the 7th inning now.
Guthrie 7 and 11 on the year. 0-2 count on Sean Figgins.
Guthrie went over 200 innings last year for the first time in his career.
He's pretty consistent. He's going to be right on that 200 pace right again. Had 190 innings last year.
Well, you still see the fastball up, 94 miles an hour right there in the 7th inning.
A 1 ball, 2 strike count on Figgins. Figgins goes to left. PA coming over, and this time it'll be in the seats. Figgins has picked up 7 hits and 19 at bats. Lifetime off Guthrie. Guthrie's going against a lineup that overall lifetime is hitting pretty hard. I mean, Ichiro's up there around 300. Figgins a little over 300. Branyan, home run. 1-2 delivery. Takes it and will miss. Fastball just off the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Ichiro and Figgins have both been pretty much pitched the same way by the Orioles. Lots of fastballs away, play them away, pitch them away. His PA's out there in left field hugging the line again.
Hugging the line. He's played a shallow left, as we've seen probably all year by anybody, and it paid off a couple of plays out there. This one is going to be popped up to short. 1-2-3 inning. 7th inning stretch time. Mariners have the lead. It's brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly.
inning, Luke Scott line drive to left center field, gets the Orioles on top too much. And then Tuiasa Sopo, who we've said his name way too often the last couple of days, that now has 7 RBIs the last 2 days. And then there's a pretty good defense along the way. Also, Marquez out in left field. Double, and he scored an error. And then using that speed to tag up on a very short fly ball to left field will put the Mariners up 5-2 as we speak. They've got 7 innings, 4 earned runs, no walks, and 3 Ks. And Tuiasa Sopo, 3-run home run was the big blow early on.
The Orioles trying to take a series here in this game, which is the rubber match. Mariners won their last 3 series. If they were to win this, it would be a season high 4 consecutive series wins. David Pauley trying to make it 2 wins in a row, getting his first major league win in his last outing against the Indians. He faces PA, Wieters, and his tourists. PA's hit into a double play and grounded out.
He's had a very quiet series. Just 1 base hit.
2. Leadoff single here in the 7th inning. And PA is on. Go behind the scenes with your Orioles on Facebook and Twitter. Visit Orioles.com/connect to find out how you can become a Facebook fan of the Orioles or a Twitter follower of Birdland Insider. You'll get the latest Orioles news, ticket offers, be among the first to learn behind-the-scenes information straight from the team. The Orioles.com/connect. Leadoff man is on. Here's Wieters. He is 0 for 2. He is struck out and flied out. And no play as that'll end up in the seats. Jamie Wright in the bullpen, the first action for either ball club in their pen tonight.
Got 97 pitches on the books by David Pauley.
Bullpen over the last 11 games for Seattle has not allowed much of anything. ERA of 2.25, 18 hits, 28 innings.
Jamie Wright threw the first night, threw 2 innings of shutout ball the first night. Of course, it was Luke French, the starting pitcher for the Mariners last night, that had the Orioles numbers. He went 7 2/3, giving up 0 runs, only 3 hits.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery, and that's going to miss outside.
Of course, we knew coming into this that Seattle pitching, starting pitching, has been very, very good this year. And I'll tell you what, Pauley tonight, French last night, been outstanding.
Well, this ERA of this starters group has been up among the leaders, second in the American League, in fact, for their starters as far as the ERA is concerned, which makes it somewhat surprising that the team has not won more games, but they've had no offense. Pitch will be taken down low, and the count will go to 3-1.
And, of course, the Orioles not going to see Hernandez, the ace of the Mariners, having a heck of a year. 172 strikeouts, only 52 walks for him. Doesn't have many wins, 8 and 10 on a tough record, but a 2.62 ERA, 5 complete games.
And Matt Wieters got a hold of that one way back right field, and goodbye, home run. Matt Wieters with a 2 RBI homer makes this a 1-run ball game. It'll be his 10th of the year. And our Ford drive of the game off the bat of the Oriole catcher.
Yeah. To say he got something he could handle right there, got a fastball middle of the plate, and the big fella didn't miss that one. Hits that thing a ton out to right center field.
Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford Drive One. And again, donations made by State Farm, $100 to the Wounded Warrior Project for every homer hit by an Oriole second half of the season. Now Wieters makes it a 1-run game, and Pauley is out of the game. So one swing of the bat changes the look of the ball game here in the 7th inning. Now Wright will come out of the pen with the bases empty, nobody out, with his tourist coming to the plate. The Orioles make it a 1-run affair. Orioles, and it's the one that takes him out of this ball game. Still a very good line.
Yeah, pretty quick knockout punch. 6+ innings, 5 hits, 4 runs. Really, after a very shaky start, really gave them some real important innings as the veteran Jamie Wright will come on. He worked in game 1 of the series. He came in this part of the Oriole lineup, retired 6 in a row to get it to the 8th in Brandon League. So he's on again to go through this part of the lineup. Not a strikeout pitcher anymore, so the fastball, slider, change pitcher.
Yeah, Wright had a tough beginning and a tough end, but everything in the middle. I'm sorry, Paulie. Tough beginning, tough end. Everything in the middle, outstanding.
So the Orioles make it interesting and are right back in it. The 4 runs on 5 hits for the Orioles. Is Torres 0 for 2. He is popped out and grounded out. Right out of the pen. And gets the swinging tip strike right there. 0-2.
Right, pretty good fastball, a little breaking ball to go with it. Cut fastball and a changeup.
0-2 delivery on the way as Torres swings through it, and Wright starts it out with a strikeout. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. One away, 7th inning. Bell and then Roberts up. Josh Bell with a 0 for 2. He is grounded out and struck out. 3 hits, 9 at-bats in the series. Wright's delivery to him. Talked about starting pitching. Of all the consistent numbers that show where a team's going to finish, none has been more true than this. The team that gets the most starts by its original group of starters is probably going to be in the postseason. Rays, Yankees, Twins, Marlins, and Red Sox. In the National League, it's exactly what's going on. If your starters who you start the year with can stay healthy, can go through the rotation and don't have to come out, can pitch games, you're in real good shape. And the teams that have done that this year, again, are in it. It was true last year. It was true the years before. And if you don't, on the other side, you're out of it. And all of those teams are. Just again pointing up what is a baseball adage.
And from those really baseball truisms.
Starting pitching, it begins and ends.
And sometimes it's not the best staff that ends up at the end of the race, but it's the healthiest. You're exactly right. If you look back at some teams, even historically, that have done real well, but it is the starters that falter in the following year. I know Tampa Bay, I think, was that way. They had all the original starters pitch the whole season the year they went to the World Series.
Yeah, you got to have the horses in that rotation, guys, that chew up innings, that stay healthy. You know, it just does so much. Keeps you in ball games, saves the bullpen, does so much.
Yep. And here's Brian Roberts. Bell draws the walk. Roberts has doubled, flied out, walked. Well, can the Orioles do it again and making a comeback here? They are down by 1, only 1 away. 7th inning, look out. Ooh-ah. He slipped on the way back and almost didn't make it.
With a little half stride, and a lot of times a pitcher will try to time. The things you look for is really a runner that keeps his legs close together like that. When they take that long stride in one direction is really what you want to time your throw over.
1-0 count on Roberts. Orioles great chance here. Roberts 0 for 5 off Wright in his career. Gets the advantage of Lopez even with a bag at third and way off the line. Wright's 1-0 delivery. Roberts will take it away, and that will send Moore out to the mound.
Again, with it being a 5-4 game, a lot going through the mind. 2-0 count now on Roberts. The big hole over at first base. Sure, Brian will just be looking for something he can shoot through that area.
Two-0 count. Bell, modest lead at first. Roberts is taking. And that's going to miss.
Taken all the way, ball 3. Jamie Wright came in the first night, was outstanding. He worked 2 innings. No hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts, no walks. He had great control the first night.
He hasn't given up a run in the last 4 games, 5 2/3 innings. Bryan just taking again. That'll be in there for a strike, and the count will go to 3-1. Fourteenth appearance with Seattle this year. He opted out of a contract with Oakland and signed with Seattle in the middle of June. Another quick toss over. He's making the out of sequence moves to first base.
Boy, getting closer and closer over there too.
Quick tag.
Here's the 3-1 delivery. Roberts will pop it up. Third base. Lopez. Big out. That's the second one here in the 7th inning.
Although Wright was behind in the count, he still was able to make a quality pitch behind the count. Got the inside on the hands.
That will bring up Markakis. Nick with a 2 for 7 lifetime off Wright. Has had a single and a run scored. 2 in the first and 2 here in the 7th inning. The 4 runs for the Orioles. Wieters with a 2 RBI homer after PA started the inning with a single. 2 down runner at first. And Markakis on a breaking ball. It's in there for a strike.
Good breaking ball too. That's how you got to pitch Nick Markakis. We mentioned it earlier. Just sprays the ball everywhere. Can't stay one way on him. Got to throw the fastball in and out. Mix in breaking balls, change-ups.
Fastball.
He gets a backdoor breaking ball for strike 1 and a fastball just on the outside corner for strike 2.
Not a lot of help for fly balls in that win. Throw to first again. Diving back in is Bell. Pretty good combination here with Wright and Kochman. They've got some pretty good pickoff moves, both as a pitcher and first baseman.
Yeah, Mike mentioned Kochman does a nice job applying a quick tag.
Here's the 0-2 delivery. Markakis off speed. Down the line. Foul ball. St. Louis Cardinals lost another ball game today in their race to try and take back the division lead that they have lost. Cincinnati started the day 2 games up. Reds have won 4 in a row. They now have a 2.5 game lead over the Cardinals, who were beaten today by Milwaukee 3-2. Late game in Arizona for the Reds. Markakis, an 0-2 count. Bell off first. 1-2.
Yeah, how quickly things change. American League Central. Wasn't long ago the White Sox were in here with a 2 or 3 game lead over Minnesota, and the Orioles work on them pretty good here, win 3 out of 4. Minnesota gets hot. My gosh, now Minnesota's got a couple game lead, you know.
5 in a row for the Twins coming into today's play that they've won. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery. Markakis waited. And he almost.
Yeah, he wanted to. Halfway offered at it.
Well, he's looking for a pitch he can drive. 1-2 pitch. Right on that backdoor breaking ball.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. 1-run game. Mariners lead it. Markakis, doubles leader, 39 in the American League. And he goes down swinging. So Wright comes on and gets it done. The Orioles get the home run by Wieters, his 10th of the year, to make it a 5-4 game. Inning and time for our Haynes Comfort Zone. Michael Gonzalez is coming off the DL. 10 2/3 innings, only 6 hits, 2 runs, 9 strikeouts, and a 1.69 ERA. That is comfortable. And tomorrow, covering the bases, Michael Gonzalez.
Very comfortable.
Yep. That pitch is taken inside for a ball. And did not go around on it. Russell, Branyan, Lopez, Gutierrez up. Branyan 0 for 3. He's only had 1 hit in 11 at-bats in this series. And that pitch will be taken inside. Branyan, the DH, robbed his first 2 times up. Markakis made a nice catch in right. And Bell made a heck of a play at third on him. Foul back.
It's a classic lift swing.
Yeah. He takes a hack at it, doesn't he?
How about those numbers?
It's pretty good company right there.
It's like the follow through is look at the warehouse.
Yeah, I think the warehouse is on his mind, it looks like.
He's got a calculator. That's only, let's see, 439 feet from home plate.
Oh, and after watching him in batting practice, he can get there too.
3 ball, 2 strike count. Jeremy Guthrie now only 1 down. Working in the 8th inning. 3-2 delivery. Brandon will foul that one back.
You see how aggressive he knows that. Branyan's having excellent swings at the fastball, but he just keeps bringing it on in.
Yeah, he's a guy you definitely want to get ahead of and expand the zone. Great fastball hitter, but boy, if you can get ahead of him and expand the zone with some off-speed stuff, you can make him pay for it. He's got Guthrie in a tough situation right here. Guthrie's still down on a run. Game much closer now. Doesn't want to walk the leadoff guy. Then again, you can't give in this situation to the big fella because he can sure hurt you at one swing.
3 ball, 2 strike count to him. Branyan again. He fouls that back as these two battle it out. 12 lifetime home runs against the Orioles. 7 of those hit here at Camden Yards by Branyan. He owns just a 180 batting average lifetime against the Orioles. 3-2 delivery, and did he draw a walk? They want it checked at third. The home plate umpire won't ask. Don't see that very often.
It's kind of funny because I saw his right arm flinch. Adrian Johnson's right arm. Let's watch his last pitch.
Close enough to ask.
Yeah, I mean, I just wondered, from the umpire's point of view, if you can really watch the pitch and see the check of the swing. I don't know how you can really do both. They're pretty good at what they do.
Yeah, but you're right. Balls come in there at 94 miles an hour. You're going to try to watch the ball, the location, and the swing. My gosh.
Ryan Langerhans will come on and be the pinch runner. Here in the 8th inning, it's a leadoff walk, and that one in the air. It is deep and foul. Lopez.
Yes. Lopez just misses that ball. Take a look at it right here. Didn't look so close from that angle.
No.
From our angle, it looked really close.
Let's show Walter with the notebook. 0-1 count. Jose Lopez has doubled in the ball game, 1 for 3. He has a 10-game hit streak. He has 2 home runs lifetime off Guthrie. That one in the air to right center field. Markakis and Jones. Markakis. Runner tagging and going. Throw to second is not going to be in time. Langerhans is in. Since we saw Buck Showalter with a notebook here, we had a chance before the game to ask about that. Always making notes, particularly at the end of the game. What are you writing, Skipper?
Make sure I get some bread and milk. Just reminders. I'm 54. My memory, I want to make sure that my memory is good. And just some notes to myself about things that, we need to address. And timing's everything. But it's unbelievable things that you learn if you keep your mouth shut,
Swung out and missed here. Runner at second base and one down. Gutierrez up 2 singles and he is grounded out. Buck Showalter on our Wired Wednesday. Take note of the last comment that he made, kind of a throwaway voice trailing away. It's amazing what you learn when you keep your mouth shut. 0-1 count.
How true.
Foul back. And a 2-strike count of Gutierrez. Only one away. Very big run potentially out there at second base. And Langerhans the pinch runner in a 5-4 ball game.
Yeah, Langerhans, wonderful job of tagging up. Don't see that happen too often from first base, getting in the scoring position.
Runner's got to stay. Bell looks and gets it.
I guess it makes you think about what kind of note he would have been making after that play to center field. It may be something of the effect that, does Adam Jones let Nick Markakis know that he's tagging up from first base, or is he tracking the ball? Little things like that. And Buck has an excellent eye for not the minutia, but the important little things of the game, the nuances.
Yeah, the communication so important.
And he will batting practice tomorrow. Simone in the bullpen, be walking around in the outfield, and those are the kind of things he'll talk to individual players about the next day. Now 2 down. Here's Casey Konchman. He's grounded out, flying out, grounded out again, goes in the air to left center field. Jones on the fly, and that ball is going to fall in, and it will be up and over. And a ground rule double. Langerhans will score and put a very important run up there to make it a 6-4 Seattle lead. Konchman the RBI.
That's how important it is. Langerhans tagging up a couple of bats ago, getting in the scoring position. His 84-mile-an-hour changeup. Konchman gets it slicing away from Jones. See, it's headed for the left center field gap. Jones and PA's after it, but no chance of getting there. Hops over the fence for a double, and you see Guthrie. That hurts right there.
Killed by the head drop.
41st RBI for Casey Konchman. Konchman, a 500 hitter coming in against Guthrie. 6-4 lead. Rick Kranitz, pitching coach, out. Bullpen is ready. You know that Buck Showalter wants to let Guthrie finish up this inning so he could benefit from any Oriole offense that would come in the next half inning.
It really is amazing how important it is to retire the leadoff hitter in the inning. I think even the Mariners offense proving that tonight.
Makes all the difference in the world, as we've talked about, the percentage chance to score when the leadoff man gets on base. Adam Moore, 1-0 count, 2 down. Konchman at second. Right back to the mound. Nice snag, and Guthrie will get the out. But a big run in. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Bottom of the 8th coming. game here after giving up that run that really disturbed him in the 8th inning. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates who are up tonight. You can text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 51862. Tuiasosopo, 3 RBI homer that came in the 2nd inning. It is the big blow of the game. Matt Wieters getting the Orioles back in it with his 10th home run, 2 RBI shot in the 7th. And Luke Scott, 2 RBI single, putting the Orioles up early in the 1st. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 51862.
Yeah, the Orioles hadn't hit a home run in a while. A little jump start to the offense. One swing, a couple of runs right back in it.
David Pauley, 4 runs, 5 hits over 7+, the starter. David had a chance to win his 2nd game of the year. Jeremy Guthrie now will hope the offense can come through here. Ty Wigginton will lead it off. Right out of the bullpen. Gave up a walk in the 7th inning when he came on. That was it. Wigginton has scored, reaching on a fielder's choice, officially 0 for 3. And fouls it off, and a 2-strike count from Wright. Wigginton 2 for 10 off Wright. One of those hits, a home run. And that is outside.
Nice 0-2 pitch right there on that breaking ball. Wright's been outstanding, relieving Pauley last inning. Got 2 strikeouts and walked a batter.
Here's the 1-2 delivery to Wigginton, and there's that pitch. That's what Pauley was throwing. Wright throws it. Wigginton doesn't like it and says so to Manny Gonzalez, home plate umpire.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there. I don't know if that ball ever came back quite enough. Catcher wants it down the way. Of course, it's inside. Throws it inside. And you see why Wigginton's upset, because there's no way that ball came back. And a few other things too.
But only a guy from Louisiana could decipher.
Well, we read lips pretty good too. You got the airboats down there make all the noise in the boats. You know, it's how we get around, and so we got to read
all that
lips.
air inside your mouth.
Oh yeah, you can't hear. Just got to read lips.
One away.
That's funny. Billy Ripken really thought when I came up years ago that we took boats to school and we took a boat to the grocery store. And I said, Billy, it's really not all one big swamp down there. I swear it's not. We do have some roads and some high ground as well.
High-tech phones, too.
Well, it all works.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy to report I didn't have to use a payphone to call home last night.
I said he's going to get a portable payphone.
No, you know, that's a start.
Get one, have a little backpack, you know, put your payphone in it, and long cord though.
The lady at the hotel thought I was crazy when I asked for a payphone the other day. I said, no, I'm serious. I really am. I need to call home.
2-0 count on Luke Scott. Orioles trying to get that potential tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2-0 delivery, and Luke will lift it into the gap. They're going to do just that. Tuiasosopo cuts it off, and Scott will go into second base with a stand-up double. That's his 2nd hit of the ball game.
I mean, that's been the difference for me for Luke Scott. I mean, he's taking the ball. It's on the outside part of the plate now, not trying to pull it. We saw him do it in the 1st inning as well for a 2 RBI single. That ball is clearly down away. Doesn't try to go out there and hooks it, just hits it out there where it's pitched. And as you can see, he's got pop to the other field, too.
So the Orioles get the potential tying run up. Adam Jones hit by a pitch. He is struck out and grounded out. 3 hits and 11 at-bats in the series. Hitting at .281 on the year. And one of the hot hitters in the lineup. Only 1 down. Wright's delivery to him, and Jones will take it inside for a ball. Jones 1 for 7 off Wright. Sean White, whom we have seen in the series, in the bullpen. 1-0 count, one away. I want to send along a happy birthday wishes to Douglas Ford. Douglas, I know you're celebrating a birthday today. Your son is the fine chef who works here in the press room. Okay. So we send you along a happy birthday wish from him and us. And for all the good eats we get here.
Takes care of us every day.
The chef. The man in charge. 1-0 count on Jones. Not trying to hold the runner at second. They stay wide at short and second base. And Jones just did not get a good cut on that one as he got jammed up high.
93 miles an hour. Boy, you saw that ball up and in movement by Jamie Wright. Tough pitch to handle. See, that ball starts and just straight up and in.
That's a balk. And the runner will move up. So Scott will move up on the balk. A little too much movement out there on the mound with the hands.
Yeah, very quick call.
No arguments. No arguments at all. Take a look at it.
Oh, it looks like he fumbled the ball after probably changing his grip.
Bobbled the ball for sure.
So a runner at third with one away. And the 1-1 delivery. Again tried to come inside and missed. A 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Yeah, I don't know that he's trying to throw those breaking balls inside like that. Looks like it's the catcher Moore set up on the outside, but boy, he's been constantly throwing it on the inside part of the plate.
Here's the 2-1 delivery. And again inside, almost clipping the jersey that time.
Same thing. I mean, he's trying to go down and away with that fastball. You can see Moore set up out there, and that ball's running back out over and across the plate.
And the count goes to 3-1. So Adam Jones gets a pitch to hit, maybe with a runner at third base. Here's the 3-1 with one down. Full count. And some tight ball games. The Orioles got the one-run win in 11 innings, 5-4 in the walk-off in game number 1. It was a 1-0 ball game going into the 9th inning before the Mariners got 3 runs in the 9th of last night's game. And here we are again in the 8th inning, and again tight ball game with only a 2-run differential. 3-2. Luke Scott at third. And that's a wild pitch. Runners coming. The throw is going to be wild. So Scott will score, and the wild pitch was ball 4 to Jones, and we're back to a 1-run ball game.
Well, they went with a 3-2 breaking ball, trying to fool Jones. Throws it way wide of Moore right there. Moore hustles and tries to get it home, but no chance getting Scott. Scott gets a good jump right there. Ball up against the backstop. Actually hits the brick wall back there and kicks back. But
Darren Brown, the manager, is coming out now. Wright's just having a hard time locating pitches, and he's going to come out of the game. Sean White will come out of the bullpen. The Orioles again have it to within 1. Runner on, 1 down. Action, and it'll be game 1 of 4 against the Rangers. Brian Mattis on the mound against Colby Lewis. All right, coverage on Masson HD 630. O's Extra, presented by your local Ford dealer. Game coverage 7 o'clock. All the access you need right here on Masson. Rangers, of course, having a tremendous season, an offense that is ranked 2nd in average, 5th in home runs, 4th in runs per game, and a very good ERA, which is 6th. They are the leaders of the American League West. Josh Hamilton an MVP consideration, and they were swept by the Orioles, as Mike mentioned. So they've got that on their mind as well.
Now, they didn't take that series lightly, as Sean White will come out of the bullpen, 34th appearance on the year. He's been up and down 3 times between Tacoma or Sacramento and Seattle. He was on the mound the other night when Adam Jones laid down the bunt.
The walk-off bunt.
And I didn't put it on my score sheet.
I didn't either. I went back and looked when y'all told me the story. I don't even have it.
PA up. You can always go back, fill it in now.
I did.
You did. Good, man.
And Cooperstown won't want it now.
That's right.
That's why I left mine open.
Yeah,
yours is more exciting. It tells a bigger story. 1 strike count, 1 down. Jones is on at first base this time. PA's up. Single and a run scored. 1 for 3 in the ball game. And he will take that pitch, and it will miss on a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Last player with a walk-off bunt, extra innings. Before Jones, in baseball, Melvin Moore. He did it against the Yankees September of 07. Last walk-off bunt. 1-ball, 1-strike count. And the throw over. I had to go back and look up Gary Allenson's bunt, a bases loaded extra inning bunt. The Orioles' third base coach had it when he was playing with the Red Sox in 1982. And the irony was, the other night we were talking about it before the game. So he said after the game, I was really smiling when Jones laid down that bunt after we had the discussion about doing that in extra innings. 1-ball, 1-strike count. Jones will get back to the bag. O'Hara now joins Simone in the bullpen. Jeremy Guthrie hoping the Orioles can get a lead here. He would be the benefactor as the starter. He's going to be coming out of the ball game. Still only 1 away. PA chases 1 upstairs, 1-2. White's got that distinct overhand delivery that you don't see a lot of anymore. Most are 3/4. The normal release point.
Yeah, it really helps him on his breaking ball, too, as he's able to get on top of his arm. That arm slot's already up there, as you mentioned.
1-ball, 2-strike count on PA. Jones not going. Down low. Jones gets back.
Great block by the umpire.
Yeah, tough break for the Orioles right there. That would have certainly got Jones in scoring position with just 1 out.
I don't think Moore gets a glove on it. Watch his ball bounce.
Yeah, right off the inside of his glove and straight up.
One of the few mistakes we've seen Moore make. He had the glove turned the wrong way, trying to smother it top down rather than scooping and blocking.
Well, I think he's so conscious of the running game. Sometimes catchers will give up a little bit on defense, balls in the dirt to sort of get ready to throw.
2-ball, 2-strike count. PA will take that one away, and it's full. Now, do you send Adam Jones?
I don't know. I tell you what, Moore's got one of the better arms I've seen in a while. We saw it on display a couple of nights ago. Nailed 2 Oriole runners.
PA has not had a particularly good series. A couple of hits, 10 at bats. You don't want to strike him out, throw him out, double play. 3-2 count. Runner is going, and that will be foul back.
One of the many decisions the manager has to make in the course of a game. Try to weigh all the variables. Is the hitter at the plate hot? How's he run at first? What's the catcher's arm like?
I always think those are tough calls. Situation like this. See if he does it again. 3-2. Runner goes. Grounded. Kochman's got it. Makes the flip and gets the out.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a wrong or a right call in those situations. You know, sometimes it's just gut feeling. And certainly Buck Showalter's pushed a lot of the right buttons since being here for sure. Seems like a lot of things have gone the Orioles' way.
I don't think Casey Kochman was quite sure he had that ball. He looked down into his glove as he kind of jammed that into the grass and came up with it and looked and saw he had it, and White got over there to cover.
Again, with Kochman being a left-handed first baseman, if Jones is not running, he probably has a play at second base being left-handed. He takes this step in.
Yeah, it wasn't a very smooth transition.
You're right. He hit him in the web of the glove. He never felt it.
Kind of double pumped on his toss over as well.
It's kind of the option play.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now the potential tying run is on at second base with 2 down here in the 8th. And Matt Wieters, who pulled the Orioles to within 1 at the time in the 7th inning when he got his 10th home run, has a chance with a base hit here to tie it up. And a long ball to do more. That is taken 2-0.
Our last at bat at the plate, Matt Wieters gets the bat head out, pulls it into that right field flag court. And with one swing, we're right back into the 5-4 at that point.
Well, you mentioned earlier, Mike, the homers he put up in the minor leagues over the course of 160-something games. Was it 31 homers or something? So that power, that pop is there.
White being very careful with him. First base open. 3-0 count. Is Turris on deck. Wieters getting his 3rd home run here at Camden Yards. 3 of the 10.
Here's another one of those decisions. You green light him right here. Tying run at second base. 3-0 count. Just hit a homer his last at bat.
Yes.
Might get something right down the middle of the plate he can handle.
3-0 delivery on the way. That one in the air to left field to Iyasosopo. What a catch! My gosh. The player who is not supposed to be in this series has become the player of the series. It remains 6-5 Seattle. To you by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Defensive plays for both teams in this series have been the norm. We've just seen some great outfield play in particular. Iyasosopo certainly just added to that. Simone on.
Yeah, he'll be on for his 39th appearance. Pitched 39 innings. Been prone to the long ball of late. Has allowed a home run in each of his last 4 appearances. Allowed one in this series to go down in game 1. He's actually allowed home runs in 6 of his last 10 appearances. And then, Rick Kranitz was scratching his head. He says, I don't know why they're centering him so well all of a sudden.
Iyasosopo, of course, leads it off. He'll foul it back.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if he's tipping his pitches, maybe.
Yeah, you go through all that when you're throwing 96, 97, and they're turning it around, and you have other complementary pitches. So he's knocked in, 7 the last 2 days, and probably saved another couple along the way.
That'll go to short as Turris up. 1 down, 9th inning. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield makes a $25 donation to the Kennedy Krieger Institute for every strikeout recorded by an Orioles pitcher so far this year. 711 strikeouts, meaning Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield that much closer to the $25,000 goal. We thank Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield for your commitment to improving the health of the kids in our community through the wellness education programs. Josh Wilson will follow back. Wilson, a single, reached on an error, and he is flied out. Jeremy Guthrie, 8 innings, 6 runs, 5 earned, 8 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 3. Simone will miss outside with that. 1 ball, 1 strike. And we come down to another very tight ball game. They're in the 9th inning. Each team was able to add a run in the 8th. Swung on and missed. Got him to Chase.
Good breaking ball right there. 80 miles an hour. Stays in the strike zone almost the whole way and then just disappears off the outside part of the plate, down and away from Wilson.
1-2 delivery and got it.
Fastball, breaking ball, fastball at 95 right by him. Ball was supposed to be inside. Sometimes when you throw 95, 96, you get away with that, especially when you're ahead in the count.
Now Ichiro with 2 down. RBI double. 1 for 4 in the ball game. 4 for 15 in the series.
I mean, he's lined out a couple times. He's been robbed a couple of other times. He's tried to bunt for a hit and had a nice play behind the plate by Matt Wieters. So he had 5 hits. Feels like he should have had 10 or 11.
And Ichiro will take that one. Ichiro, the leader, as you would expect, in singles. Once again, with all the slashing base hits that he picks up. First in infield hits as well. First in multi-hit games in the league. And now has a 12-game hit streak here in Baltimore, during which he's hitting over 390.
Yeah, 40 infield hits this year. 497 in his career.
Simone gets the strike on him, 2-1.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Sometimes he looks so ugly on his finish. Take a look at this. It's a splitter, 88-mile-an-hour splitter he's fooled on. He does a lot of things wrong at the plate, but a lot of things right, too.
If PA plays any closer, he's going to have to buy a ticket and sit in the front row.
Yeah, I guess there is a rule you have to play in fair territory. But against Ichiro, he's been over there by those low line drives. He sprays down that line. I mean, that was close to the line as you'll see him. Well, actually, they're probably the next 2 players in a row, Ichiro and Figgins on deck. Plays about in the same spot, about 10 feet from the line.
Especially off a left-hander. He's just way over there.
2-2 delivery. Ichiro on his way to another 200-hit season. He's on pace right now to go over the mark for the 10th time. If he does so, he will tie Pete Rose, who currently has the all-time lead for 200-hit seasons.
That's
2 ball, 2 strike count.
Pretty good company. Now, is that 10 straight years?
Would have to be, I think. Yeah. That one grounded to short. It's Turris. Got him. As Wigginton hauls it in. So Simone gets it done. Now the Orioles offense will try and do the same. Bottom of the 9th inning. Mariners lead it by 1.
The ninth, down by a run, and Rick, Seattle very opportunistic in this game. 4 of the 6 runs have scored with 2 men out.
Well, that's Matt Tuiasosopo again with another 3-run home run, and he has really taken advantage of his opportunity against the Orioles. He's killed them on offense tonight and defense.
So the Orioles coming up at the bottom of the ninth need a run. It'll be 8-9-1. Let's see how it turns out. Back to the booth. Let's rejoin Gary.
All right, Jim, let's see if the Orioles have it in him here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Simone did his job, retiring the side in order, and the closer who blew a save in game 1 back on the mound.
Yardman was out of the bullpen. He's had an outstanding year, but didn't really have a very good night the other night. Blown save number 5 in his last outing. He walked 3, including the game-tying run. And, what really seemed to happen the other night, he had a lot of trouble with the humidity. His out pitch is really that split finger forkball, and I really kept sliding out, couldn't control it, lost the fastball release, and he was in a lot of trouble.
White worked 2/3 of an inning. Nothing on his line. Now Artsman to try and finish it up. David Pauly, pitcher of record, the starter. Jeremy Guthrie the same for the Orioles. Torres will lead it off. Bell on the top of the order, Roberts. The end at third base, Lopez, a couple of steps on the grass, actually. He does show bunt. Kochman had moved in even with the bag at first.
Yeah, Artema really struggled with his control. Mike, you mentioned it had 3 walks first night.
1-1.
And just 1 inning pitched.
Torres has had an 0 for 3 in the only times he has faced Ardsmith. That ball will be foul back. And it'll go to 1-2. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. That's what it is so far. You still have time to text in your vote to A, B, or C, 51862. The results in the O's Extra post-game show. 23 out of 28 in saves for David Ardsmith. And there's the base hit the Orioles needed. A leadoff single in the bottom of the ninth inning.
That already puts Ardsman right back in the hot seat.
Good piece of hitting right there by Torres. Puts a fastball up out over the plate. Doesn't try to do a whole lot with it. Just meets it solidly.
You remember the last time Ardsman was out there, how that inning started was that Luke Scott maybe 90-foot single right over his head.
Now the Orioles will pinch hit Julio Lugo for Bell, which would seem to certainly indicate going to lay a bunt down here.
Yeah, hit for Bell, and the last time Ardsman was out there, but that was the time that he walked in the tying run. Good speed at first base in his tours, and Lugo, pretty good bunter.
Play to tie at home, win on the road in these situations is the baseball adage. Some managers adopt it, some don't.
And I would think Jose Lopez at third base would play in for most of the inning.
Right on top of the batter. He isn't doing that yet, though. All right, Lugo's up, runner at first base. Lugo does square, drops it towards first. Good bunt. Kochman. Second baseman covering Figgins, and you can just see the whole body tighten up as he made that throw.
He almost looked like one of those pitchers out there that's kind of scared to throw it to first base, not a position player. But he got the job done. See Lugo square around, nice bunt. Gets it over there. Kochman picks up and kind of pushes it over there to first base. Like a shot put, kind of. How many have we seen of those go over the first baseman's head and down the right field line?
Now the potential tying run is on. The sixth sacrifice of the year for Lugo. Here's Torres down at second. Here's Roberts. Bryan has doubled, walked, popped out, flied out. Brian Roberts trying to get it tied up here, at least in the ninth inning. All right, Sweat will miss down low with that.
Yeah, Gutierrez and Ichiro in the outfield, very shallow in center and right.
You could see how close Wilson, the shortstop, was holding his Taurus to as short a lead as possible. He's almost right behind him. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Roberts will take it. It is in there. First strike, 1 and 2.
There's a breaking ball, which typically is Artemis' third best pitch. No, it's a fastball. Normally gets you out fastball splitter, but there's a breaking ball.
The Seattle team has lost 10 games in a walk-off fashion. They have lost 21 games in the opponent's last at bat. Down to first and foul. The Orioles have 10 walk-off wins, including Game 1.
Yeah, both these clubs have been in this situation a lot. And the reason we're talking at the beginning of the show that Matt Albers in the Oriole bullpen has as many wins as the leading starter. And that is Guthrie, 5 wins at home, mostly for those late and extra inning games.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Bryan. Artsma, the look back and up high.
And he really hasn't had that good splitter. That's his out pitch in either of his outings here in this series. Again, he was just seemed to be so humid. He would go back and use the rosin bag, put it between those first 2 fingers. Just can't seem to control the grip.
Opponents only 203 off Artsma this year for a batting average. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and again, can't find it. 3-2.
That looked like a breaking ball instead of the splitter, so he's really struggling with both of his off-speed pitches right now. Desperately trying to get one of them to work. Take a look at this. Yeah, that's a breaking ball. Just slips out, leaves it up high again. Don't know if it's the moisture on his hand. But the Orioles had him in a pretty good situation last time out a couple nights ago. They were able to sit on the fastball.
And he came in with a heater.
96, though. There's Rare back right by you at 96.
Well, the final game of the season between these two teams. Mariners have already won the series as they lead 5-3 on the season series. The Orioles, though, still with a chance to take this 3-game series. There are 2 down. Nick Markakis with a runner at second base. And knocked down, literally. Artsma up and gets the out. And this one will go in the books in an unusual fashion here at the end of it, as it'll be a 1-run ball game and the Mariners hang on to win it 6-5. Ben, great having you with us again. I want to say that before we let you go here.
Enjoyed it. Enjoyed it again.
Huh?
Yeah, see you out in Boston. That's
in
right.
Boston, you got it. So the Mariners come away with the victory, and it'll be 22-18 in 1-run games now for the Orioles. And it'll be a 4-game set coming up against the Rangers. Brian Mattis takes the mound against Colby Lewis. Game 1 tomorrow. Those Extra presented by your local Ford dealer. 6:30 Mass and HD. Game coverage at 7. For Mike Flanagan, Ben McDonald, Amber Theo Harris, and all of our crew, I'm Gary Thorne. We bid you adieu from Camden Yards. Interesting ball game. The M's take it by 1. Those Extra.